There's one thing I can say about myself is I was right, or more right than most, about the 2021 Pittsburgh Steelers. The Steelers are not going to win the Super Bowl this year, but that was never in the cards. The fanciful notion that the Steelers should have moved on from their future Hall of Fame QB before the season begs the question, to what and for whom? There was no better alternative this season. A succession plan requires a successor, and there was just plain no one to take the role. Now, there was a new James Bond movie in 21. The last one with the newest Bond before a new one takes that role over. And next year, Batman's back, but with a different guy in the black and gold uniform. And did you see the new Spider-Man movie? There were 3 guys in the lead role. And I'm sure Tobey Maguire is happy there's a Spider-Verse, but I'm sad to report there is no such thing as a Steeler-verse. Therefore, in his prime, Terry Bradshaw's not walking through that door. And based on some of the comments I've heard this year, some fans and even former Steelers players wish Roethlisberger hadn't walked through the door in 2021. Listen, everybody. The Steelers are going to be fine going forward. They've got lots of cap room and some strong-armed options in the draft. After all, the most iconic brands always live on. But you can't have it both ways. I've heard lots from the last several months about this Steeler way, but a big part of that is pride in the past, towing the line, living up to the pride standard set over the last half century. And part of that requires embracing the legends. This isn't a 15-minute-old franchise like the Houston Texans or the Columbus Blue Jackets. Neither is it the Washington Generals or the Cincinnati Bungles. Being an iconic, successful brand can actually complicate things sometimes. And the Steelers don't have a flawless track record of doing this right all the time, which is parting ways with some of its biggest icons. Bradshaw, Polamalu, Harrison, Le'Veon Bell, Antonio Brown, all left draped in something less than glory. But then fairy tale endings are hard to come by, even for guys whose careers have played like something out of a storybook. The greatest of all time, Muhammad Ali, Brady in New England, Montana in San Francisco, Favre in Green Bay, Peyton in Indy. And so it now is for Roethlisberger at 39, deprived by his knees, his hips, and whatever the hell else is ailing him, out of what made him stand out, even from his Hall of Fame peers. He wasn't just a scrambler, running away from guys, but kicking off the walking booting and taking them on, delivering justice, vengeance downfield, like Batman in the alley against 11 nameless gray faces. Don't get me wrong. He's not a movie character. He's a 3-dimensional, imperfect human being. But just as the Steelers have done the right thing with Roethlisberger, Roethlisberger's evolved himself as a player and as a man. That's what happens when we bear witness to the full arc of a person's adulthood to this point. So, of course, Pittsburgh's loved him. In a sports tan, color-coordinated in black and gold, alongside Lemieux and Clemente and Stargell and Crosby and Mean Joe, Big Ben stands tall for eternity on the short list. The best player the Steelers have had at sports' most important position, and one of the 10 best to ever do it in the history of people. Sure, in the same era, we've seen some more surgical QBs, Brady, Peyton, Breeze, but there's something pristine about them. Scripted, clean and easy. Give me the improviser, the gunslinger, taking shots, making plays downfield. Go ahead, look up his career numbers. He's way up there, but that misses the point. Seven's pigskin genius is more visceral than that. His greatest play is obvious. It'd be the signature moment for any QB. But 1A and 1B are what make him distinctive. A season-saving tackle on the defensive back in Indy and staving off a purple-clad nemesis just long enough to avoid the stack by throwing it out of bounds. Peyton might have been better pre-snap, but he couldn't have done those things. And now the end is near. 18 years, the full lifetime of some who'll cheer him on one last time in Heinz on Monday night. 18 years in that same black and gold uniform. But because this isn't a movie, the hero could lose here. It sets up to be a potentially sad ending if things go poorly against Cleveland, then at Baltimore. Doesn't have to be, though. It's not over just yet. There are a couple of chapters left. Maybe he's got one last show for his home state Browns, who've been kicking themselves since 2004 for passing him over. And maybe he's still got a little left for Baltimore, where he took his first snaps 18 years ago. Both those towns hate him. Good. The Joker should hate the superhero who's kept him from fulfilling his dreams. Since he arrived on the banks of the Three Rivers, 3 Super Bowls, 2 Lombardis, which is one more than the rest of the arch villains in the division combined. Browns to the left of Yins, Jokers to the right. And either way, when it's done, the Steelers will recast the role. A new face of the franchise, a new hero in the same black and gold getup with the logo on just one side of the helmet. But make no mistake, there will never be another Big Ben. Roethlisberger once told me he's one of those guys who'll be better appreciated once he's gone. But I suggest Yins rally around now, because for 120 or so more minutes, our QB wears the number 7.